Moodle 2 in a minute or two. Create a Moodle lesson. To add a Moodle lesson to a site, navigate to the course and area where you wish to add the lesson, and from the drop-down menu, add an activity, select Lesson. You need to give the lesson a name. You can set a time limit for the student taking the lesson. You can assign a grade value, and if you want to use the lesson as a practice exercise, you can select that from the drop-down menu and allow students to repeat as many times as they need to. When you set all the options you wish, you can click Save and Return to Course at the bottom of the page. To create pages in the lesson, click on the link to the lesson on the Moodle main page. If you've already created any questions in the lesson, they will be displayed under the Edit tab, along with an indication of what type of page they are and what navigation jumps they contain. To add a page to the lesson, select the page type from the drop-down menu. Content pages present information to the student but are not given any grade value. Questions ask a student to make a choice and can assign values to the answer that a student gives. You can also create branches to control navigation and add clusters, which are groups of questions that can be selected randomly for the student to answer. Content pages require a title, as indicated by the asterisk, and they also have a page content area where you can include the information for the student. Remember, if you're importing from Microsoft Word, to use the Paste from Word option. You're required to have at least one content button. This is the text that will display for the link to the next page in the lesson. It's possible to have more than one navigation jump from a content page. If you select a question page as the next page type, you'll be taken to a screen that asks you to select which type of question: multi-choice, essay, matching, numerical, short answer, or true-false. Make your selection and then click Add a Question Page. For a multiple choice question, you're required to provide a page title and also page contents, which can be the question or instructions for the student. For each answer, you're required to provide the text of the answer, which will display to the student. You have the option of giving feedback for that particular response. You can control where the navigation will jump to after the student answers the question with that choice, and you can also provide a point value for that answer. The default is to have 4 answers, although you can increase that number. With matching questions, you can provide feedback for a correct or incorrect answer, but not for individual choices. For each of the choices in the multiple choice question, you provide an answer and also the match for that answer, which will appear in a drop-down menu for the student to select. The default is to have 4 options for matching pairs, but you can increase that number if you desire. You can display the lesson in a collapsed or expanded form. The collapsed form is perhaps a little bit easier to read. The expanded form provides more information about the particular details of the question. Clicking the Preview tab will let you take the lesson to make sure that it behaves as you want it to. The Reports tab will let you look at the results of student attempts at the lesson, and the Grade Essays tab will let you go in and grade any essay or short answer questions in the lesson. You can also create groups of pages and organize them as a cluster. The main function of a cluster is to have a group of questions, one of which will be selected randomly when the student enters the cluster. The default would be to go to an unseen question within a cluster, although you can also set specific navigation beyond that. Moodle lessons require careful planning and testing, but they do offer some valuable options to an instructor. They can be used to create a version of program learning, as a test to evaluate student knowledge, and as a tool for review or learning new material. If you have any questions about this tutorial or any other aspect of using Moodle, please contact your designated Moodle support person or moodle@alb.edu.